Cozie Homies! Welcome back to the Zone! So today I'm visiting a very special exhibition which is LV's 200 Trunks, 200 Visionaries exhibition. So this exhibition is created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of LV, Louis Vuitton, which is a powerhouse of a fashion house essentially. And this is so cool because how they do this is actually to depict the entire history of LV using 200 of their iconic trunks, so like treasure boxes kind of like things. And I'm quite interested because I heard one of the trunks is actually designed by BTS himself, and there are also many other cool designs by very influential people basically. So yeah, let's see how different people have their different unique experiences with LV and how they want to like express it artistically. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going to this exhibition and take a look. Alright, so I just finished walking the entire exhibition and I kind of like learned a lot from it. So essentially this exhibition, right, they invited 200 like visionaries and like iconic people all over the world to design trunks basically. And I think it's very interesting to see how different people approach the idea of designing a trunk, a box. So there are some people who literally think out of a box. There are some people who redefine and reimagine what it means to be a trunk, to be a solid structure basically. So we get to see a lot of abstract interpretations of this LV trunk, and this is perhaps one way how LV is trying to like build up their brand and trying to like let people know that they are more than just a luxury brand, but in fact they are actually considering and taking in artistic perspectives from different people basically. And I am so excited to learn more about it. I think there's a website and a QR code for us to scan and learn more about each individual work. So I think after I go back, I will try to do some research and perhaps share with you all what are some of my favorite works. Yeah. Okay, so this is me from the future, and right now I'm going to share with all of you my top 3 favorite picks from the 200 trunks that were available on the exhibition. So basically I noted down some of the trunks that really caught my attention, and I went back to research more about it to find out and learn more about the artist's intention when they created the work. And I really learned a lot, and let me just share with you my top 3. Alright, so the very first trunk that I want to talk about is actually number 6 out of 200, which is designed by Kate Doddy, who is a London-based visual artist. And the title of her trunk is actually called Louis the Sheep. Based on her words, she said she created a toy chest in the form of a sheep. And when you open the lid, you actually can find 199 tiny miniature ships within this one big sheep. And the 200th one being the big ship casing that contains all these tiny ships. So each piece represents a year since the birth of Mr. Vuitton. And when the artist created this visual imagery, right, is because for her, when she thinks of trunks, it reminds her of storage space for fancy dresses and for children's toys. And for many people, I think if you own a trunk, you basically put a lot of valuable and really memorable things inside for safekeeping. And I think for this artist, it is more of like keeping childhood memories and items that bring her back pleasant and happy memories. And for her, a sheep is a universal symbol of good intent, and I think for me, based on how I perceive this work, I think sheep are really like kind and fluffy and cute, and they remind me of like gentleness and warmth and comfort. And I think this is one way to interpret this trunk, where you keep all those good memories in a safe space, and when you are feeling down, you can always go back to this little trunk, open it up and look at things that make you happy. So this is how I perceive this work. And next up, another piece that I really like is number 97 out of 200, which is designed by Ichinori, which is a studio of designers, visual artists, screen printers and publishers dealing in art books, prints, animated books and other books. One very interesting thing about this work, right, is that the description of this work is written in French, so I got to go and do some Google translating. Okay, so based on the translation from the French description, what these group of designers want to bring out is actually they are saying how on one side there's this trunk which is actually just a white painting canvas, a piece of stone for them to design on. But on the other hand, they imagine the multitude of infinite variations of users that this trunk has been serving for the past 200 years. So as we all know, Louis Vuitton's trunk actually started off as a way to carry travel items, and it's basically the ancestor of luggages, I think. So all the baggages from the passengers are being stored in these trunks, which are being transported on those steam trains and other railway networks back then. And the description says about how many trunks of this type have been filled and emptied for 200 years. How many objects, shapes, ideas are poured into these volumes. And I think this is why they created this image of an endless crowd with a lot of movement, a lot of colors, a lot of chaos in it. It is to represent for this entire 200 years how this trunk evolved from an essential travelling need necessity into a luxury item that it is right now. And I think this piece that's so full of motion and so full of energy and activity really represents how seemingly normal and random household items you have at home is actually so rich of history, and there's so much more to it. And I think this trunk really encapsulates the entire metropolitan city, a very industrialized society that we're living in, where everything is moving on so fast paced and so much happening in a single day. And I think this trunk really captured it perfectly, and I'm so drawn to the really colorful prints and the really beautifully decorated, designed characters in it. I really love it so much. And the last trunk I want to talk about is actually designed by Theo Curin, who is actually a swimmer who has 4 limbs amputated at the age of 6. According to his description, he was saying how like at 6 years old, even though he had his limbs amputated, he tried to learn how to swim 5 years later despite his fear of water. And he started off in indoor swimming pools and he became a Paralympic champion. For him, he wants to challenge himself by learning how to swim in natural waters and he's trying to cross the river Titicaca. And he also said how this trunk actually represents how water went from an indoor pool to an open water, transitioning from clear calm water to natural ocean waves, which therefore represents and manifested itself in this gradient of blue and green. And I think this piece is so beautiful. Like, the moment I saw it, I really got my eyes on it. And to learn about the backstory of it made this entire work so much more meaningful to me. This work really showed me the strength of the human psyche and how we humans actually can overcome challenges ahead of us. And I think Theo Curin, being a Paralympic champion, is a very inspiring character because he shared with us about how even though he has a fear of water, even though he is being disadvantaged with his lack of limbs, he still managed to achieve his goals that he always dreamed of. And I'm just so happy for him. And I think this work also represents how we can start things small and eventually can work towards a big goal. And it is possible for this to happen. From someone who is fearful of water, to learning how to swim in an indoor swimming pool, to finally swimming in a natural water body. And I think this is so inspiring to me and I really love it so much. So yeah, these are the top 3 picks of the trunks that I have. And if you have any favorite trunks, do comment down in the section below, and I really want to find out more about what are your favorite trunks. And for those who didn't get to see all 200, please also feel free to comment down below which one is your favorite trunk. And I think these 3 really gave me the most lasting impression out of all the other trunks I've seen, and I really just love this exhibition so much. Yep. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, do remember to like, share, and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!